In this video, we're going to show you how and what you need to start ice fishing. So let's jump right in. So we just set foot on the ice. What's the very first thing we're going to need? A fishing pole? The number one thing you need before a fishing pole or anything else is an auger. You can't fish without a hole. So there are also lots of different types of augers too. So you might think, well, what kind is best for me? You got gas, you got propane, you got hand augers, you got drill bits that you can purchase too. So if you got a drill laying around, you can just use that as well. If you have a hand drill at home with the right torque specs, I would just go with a K-drill or a different drill bit. There's a lot of different drill bits on the market that work fine. I went with the K-drill 4 years ago. I bought it for like $200 and sometimes wanted to upgrade, but it always just keeps working good for me and is reliable. Maybe you don't have a drill laying around and just spend more money for a complete auger. That's up to you. Or a hand one to start if you don't want to spend the money. So now we can get a fishing pole. We don't have sponsors or expensive poles, so we just kind of rock cheap poles. Not the cheapest I could get, but also definitely not the most expensive. I spend usually around $30 to $40 for a fishing pole, and I'm fine with that. It still works and serves its purpose. So we spent about $30 to $40 for a pole. We're going to spend about $15, so let's just say on some fishing line, and then say another $15 on some lures. So now we got our fishing pole set up. If you want advice on the best fishing lures and line to use, go to our YouTube channel, and we have a bunch of different ice fishing videos that you can look at, and we share tips, tactics, the lures we're using, and all sorts of useful information to help get you started as well. So now we're ice fishing with the bare minimum. Why do we ice fish? Have fun, but to catch fish. I believe the number 3 most important thing you need to ice fish is a flasher. The flasher is a super important tool to help you catch way more fish or tell you if there are even fish under you. One of the main reasons a flasher is important: during the wintertime, the lake gets covered in ice and less water flows into it, cutting off oxygen. That combined with colder water temps makes the fish less active and lethargic, like me in the winter.
Stream. Let's see what he's got there. Oh, and he's right down into the safety.
I could have done that.
The flasher tells you when fish are under you, so you can play keep away or make all the right moves you need to do to keep them interested. And catching fish is why we're here. So what flasher? The sonar world seems huge and the prices seem limitless. I would start with a cheaper model, Markham, Vexilar, or a Garmin Striker. A lot of fish finder companies also have flasher transducers that might be compatible with a fish finder that you already have. For example, I just bought a flasher transducer for my Garmin Eco Map, so I can use it ice fishing and I can use it on my kayak in the summertime. Regardless, I'm going to say you're going to spend around $200 to $300 for a decent starter flasher. Now we're jigging in our hole, catching fish with our new fish finder and our new fishing pole for around, give or take, $500, which you could do for cheaper. But if you go out and don't catch fish in the cold, you might think sitting on the couch is a little bit easier. So that's why I'm going to use the tools that I need to be more efficient and successful to catch more fish. Say we enjoy ice fishing and we want to go out and do it more and in worse weather, be able to do it when we want. What's the next thing that we would need to make that help? So number 4, would clearly be a pop-up shelter. Pop-up shelter will cost you around $150 to $300 for a decent starter hub. Obviously, you can spend more depending on the size and style, insulated, non-insulated. I prefer insulated. They are warmer, they breathe better. I would just skip past uninsulated altogether. That's good advice. Don't forget the ice stakes. Some blinds come with them, but don't go without them. This is also why I like my drill with the auger bit. I can use it as a multi-use tool. And of course, no shelter is complete without a heater. So number 5 is a heater. A small propane heater starts around $70. There are lots of different heater options on the market. I currently use the propane heaters, and you can pick whichever brand you like. They all do the same thing. Now the next thing I would bring up is maybe a sled, because we got to get our gear out here on the lake. But I'll leave that one up to you, because sometimes we can just drive our vehicles out on the lake if the ice is thick enough. And I just use my trailer to pull my ATV out to the lake, and then I use my ATV to pull the trailer full of our gear out to the lake. So there are a lot of different options that you can do with that. So I'll just leave that one up to you. So for around $700, give or take, you can be jigging in your shelter, warm and toasty, marking and pulling up fish. I can't think of one thing to make that better. Okay, so maybe there is a lot more that you can get, but these are just the essentials to get you out on the ice, catching fish, and having fun. Maybe shop marketplaces. You might be able to find a deal on gear. Save yourself a few bucks. And if you guys need tips, tactics, check out our channel. We got some good ice fishing videos. Leave a comment if you have absolutely any questions, and we'll get back to you. Just be sure to like and subscribe.